Good morning, students. So welcome back to digital signal processing and application class. So this is a subject you will be having in your sixth semester. So you will be going to learn about it. The main concept here is digital signal processing and application, right? So before proceeding, what's the meaning of that? We need to know about how the digital signal processing and application is going to be work. So basically in this chapters we are going to learn the basic thing about 5 concepts. The first concepts we are going to learn about it, digital signal processing and application, where we are going to learn how the digital signal is going to be work, and the next second part we are going to learn about it, what are the application part it's going to be used, and third we are going to learn about it, its functionality by using the different windowing techniques we are going to perform it, and fourth one we are going to learn about its approximation method, and fifth we will be having digital signal processing architecture. Okay, so these are the 5 different units you will be having in digital signal processing. In today's class I just want to take a brief introductory part how it is going to be work. Okay, so let us see what are the units we have in digital signal processing and application. Okay, so basically we are going to see in the unit 1. So as we are seeing in the unit 1, first unit is all about, it's about digital signals. So what are the signals actually? You know about the signals, right? So you know about analog signal and you know about the digital signal. So analog signal is what? A signal which is in continuous form like this. This is a signal we had, t of x of t. It's not visible there, so I'm writing over here. So this is a signal we can say it is an analog signal t with x of t, right? So we are going to see in unit 1 how we can realize it. So we already have you people have seen this thing by using your mathematical classes, DFT, IDFT, FFT. The new concept you will be going to learn is FFT. So basically what is DFT, IDFT and FFT is all about? This completely thing is nothing but discrete Fourier transform, inverse discrete Fourier transform, fast Fourier transform. So these are the different techniques we are using for the unit 1, right? So second unit, in unit 2 we are going to use this FFT techniques. This is FFT, what I said. FFT stands for fast Fourier transform. So in this what actually we are going to learn? We are going to learn DIT FFT and DIF FFT. That is called decimation in time and decimation in frequency. So these 2 concepts we are learning in the unit 2. So in unit 2 what are the things? So I just now said it's used for DIT FFT and DIF FFT. Okay, so these are the 2 concepts we had, students. So based on that we are going to learn DIT FFT and DIF FFT. Based upon that we are going to perform the FFT transform. Okay, that is a unit 2. Now come back to the unit 3. In unit 3 what are the things we are going to learn? We are going to learn about approximation techniques. What are the approximation techniques we do have? We have different approximation techniques we are using to realize the digital signal. Okay, so that is a unit 3 we had. So students, so till now unit 1, unit 2, unit 3 you have seen. In unit 1 what are the things we are learning? We are learning about discrete Fourier transform. In that we'll be having basic thing we are going to learn is digital signal processing, how the digital signal can be used, what are the systems and signals we do have, how we can process the digital signals. You already know, right? Digital signal means either 0 or 1. That is called digital signal. So now in this we are going to use the digital signals and we are going to perform this 3. What is that? First thing what we are going to learn? We are going to learn about it DFT, right? Second is IDFT. Next FFT. What is FFT full form? It's fast Fourier transform. Next come back to the unit 2. In unit 2 we are going to learn fast Fourier transform that has 2 things. One is DIT FFT and DIF FFT. DIT is nothing but decimation in time. DIF is nothing but decimation in frequency. So these 2 concepts we are going to learn in unit 2. Now come back to the unit 3. In unit 3 I just now said that you are going to use the approximation techniques. So there are 2 approximation techniques in the unit 3. So basically what are those 2 approximation techniques? First techniques is all about Butterworth approximation and second one is all about Chebyshev approximation. Okay, So in first we are going to learn about Butterworth. Butterworth also have, we know about like filters, low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter. So by using these filters, we are going to design the Butterworth approximation. That is the first part. The second part, in Chebyshev, also we are going to learn about Chebyshev of type 1. Then we had Chebyshev of type 2. So there are different Chebyshev filters also we do have. So we are going to learn those kind of thing by using the approximation techniques of Butterworth and Chebyshev. Okay. So this is the third concept we are going to learn in the unit 3. Okay. So in that we do have the filtering also. This is nothing but LPF, HPF, BPF, all this type of filtering. One is low pass filter, high pass filter and band pass filter. All the different types of filters you are going to use, and we are going to find out this approximation technique by using the Chebyshev and Butterworth. Okay. So this is about the unit 3. So now let's move to the unit 4. What is the introduction part of unit 4 we do have, and what are the things we are going to learn in the unit 4? Let us see. So now students, so in that unit 4 we are going to learn about the main concept. What we do have in unit 4 is nothing but the we do have a windowing technique. So what is the meaning of windowing? So basically in the windowing technique we are going to truncate our signal. So truncation in the sense we are going to reduce the signal length. So when we do have huge signal, we want to reduce the size of the signal. That is called as truncation. So this is having the unit 4 first concept. What is the meaning of windowing techniques and what is the meaning of truncation of the signal? So basically in windowing techniques we are going to learn the different forms. So what are the different forms we do have? We do have a rectangular window. One basic name for the rectangular window is what? This rectangular shape. When we know the rectangular shape will be what actually? So you do have one length, one breadth like this, right? So this is called rectangle. Length is there and this side is your breadth is there. So this is like a rectangle. So we want to use a rectangular signal. We are going to use a lobes. When we design it, you come to know about the rectangular window. Second part, we are going to use the Bartlett window. So Bartlett window, or one more name for the Bartlett window is what? Triangular window. So we are using these two types of windows. The name is same, Bartlett or triangular, both the meaning is same. Triangular shape of windows you had. We are going to use that by using the windowing technique, right? Next we do have third type is nothing but Hamming window. Hamming window, then we do have Hanning window, then we have Kaiser window. So these are the different windowing techniques we are going to use in our unit 4. So unit 4, we are going to design our digital signal filtration methods by using this all types of windowing techniques, that is called FIR filters. So this is all about what are the things I just now said in all these things. These are used for FIR. FIR stands for finite impulse response. In unit 3, whatever the things you have learned, or what are the approximation technique I just now said, that those are nothing but the IIR. IIR stands for impulse invariant response filters. So by using these two kind of concepts, we are going to deal with the unit 3 and unit 4. So somewhat it's not visible, the rectangular window, as you can see here. This is just an example of rectangular window, how the rectangular window can be used and how it can be formed. Likewise, we do have unit 4. So till now what we discussed about unit 1. Unit 1 is all about this digital signal, and then we go off with then unit 2. Unit 2 what we have discussed that. Unit 2 is all about the finding the signal by using the FFT transform, that is DIT FFT and DIF FFT. Next we have proceed with the unit 3. In unit 3 we are going to learn the basic concepts of your approximation techniques, that is what? Butterworth and Chebyshev approximation. Then next we proceed with unit 4. Unit 4 we are going to learn about windowing techniques. Those are nothing but rectangular, as it's shown over here. One is a rectangular window, then we had Bartlett triangular window, Hamming, Hanning, Kaiser window. All this consist of your FIR filtering. Okay. So this is about the FIR filtering we have discussed. So those are come under the unit 4. So whatever we have discussed in the unit 3, those are considered to be what? IIR. What is IIR stands for? Impulse invariant response. So what is the difference of these two? We are going to learn when we are going to design these two types of filtration methods. Okay. So next last unit we do have is unit 5. Unit 5 is the name only. The subject name is what? Digital signal processing, right? In the name itself, we are going to use a digital signal processing techniques, and here we are going to use a particular processor which is nothing but TMX32X566. There is a series of processors we do have. How it is useful for a specific domain and how it is used in all the types of robotics. Everywhere if you see in the electronics world, those processors are useful And the most important part, it is used in the signal processing, because the signal is very important, right? Today without signal you cannot catch any kind of information, right? To get an information there must be a proper signal. So to get a signal we should have to pass by using a specific domain and specific value of it. Okay, so that's about your unit 1 to 4, the introduction part of DSPA. DSPA stands for Digital Signal Processing and Application Techniques. Okay, that's about the today's class. In the next class, we are going to proceed with the detail of all the types of units. Thank you.